Hey guys, today we stand at the edge of two worlds. One where money feels like a locked door, and another where it's an open path you walk down with confidence. You're sitting on the couch, phone buzzing, thoughts racing about bills and paychecks, and you wonder if you'll ever break free. But what if the real obstacle isn't the balance in your bank account, but the lens you're wearing? What if shifting that lens could change everything? Welcome to the first day of Thinking Rich. This isn't a lecture about charts or spreadsheets. It's a conversation about mindset, a simple change in how you see money that can flip your entire story. And because none of us should walk this road alone, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Audiobook Habits, for daily wisdom and strategies to reinforce what you learn here. Let's dive in. You've likely been told that success depends on opportunity, education, or luck. And yes, those things can help, but they're not the foundation. Your mindset is. It's the operating system behind every decision you make about earning, spending, saving, and investing. Whether you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy, those early scripts are running in the background of your mind right now, quietly guiding your choices. But here's the truth. Those scripts were written by someone else, and they don't have to define you. Today, you get to rip up the old blueprint and install a new one that sees money as a tool to create freedom, not a goal that causes stress. Imagine standing in front of two doors. One is marked scarcity, the other abundance. The key to opening the door isn't hidden under a mat. It's built into your mindset. Will you see every paycheck as a miracle that barely covers your needs, or as fuel for growing your future? Will you treat money like a lifeboat to stay afloat, or like a seed you plant, water, and watch blossom? You can't control the economy, your upbringing, or unexpected crises, but you can control how you react. In fact, that's the only thing you can truly control. This book is your guide to mastering that reaction. Over the next 12 sections, we'll explore the exact mental filters that separate the wealthy from the struggling. We'll contrast trading hours for pay against building wealth machines. We'll dismantle fear-based money stories and replace them with narratives of growth and possibility. We'll show you how every dollar and every minute can become a soldier in your financial army, if you learn to deploy them correctly. This journey isn't about shame or guilt. If you've never been taught how money really works, how could you know better? This is about empowerment. Now that you know, you have the responsibility and the privilege to think differently. So lean in, take notes, pause and reflect when prompted. Share your breakthroughs in the comments on Audiobook Habits, because your wins inspire someone else to shift their lens too. Starting today, you're stepping off the treadmill of stress and onto the launch pad of intentional wealth building. It won't always be easy, real change rarely is, but it will be worth it. And remember, you're not alone. Every subscriber, every comment, and every shared story fuels this community of builders. Welcome to Section 1, the mindset primer that reframes money from an enemy into an ally. From here on out, every section builds on this foundation, guiding you from internal beliefs to external action, until you walk away with a complete operating system for wealth. No fluff, no generic pep talks, just clear, actionable insight to rewire your thinkings and ignite your financial future. Ready? Let's begin. You're not simply sitting back while money moves through your life. You're the filmmaker. And your mind's eye projects every financial decision through a unique filter, your money lens. This invisible but powerful lens forms early, shaped by whispered messages and cultural echoes, and determines whether you clutch every dollar in fear or view each one as a step toward growth. Imagine two colleagues who each receive a $500 bonus. Colleague A's heart tightens. What if I lose it? She worries. And she tucks it into a low-interest savings account, afraid risk equals loss. Colleague B's eyes brighten. What if I use this to kickstart a side project? He asks. And he spends it on materials to launch a small venture. Months later, colleague A still has $500 eaten by inflation. Colleague B has doubled his money and gained confidence. Same opportunity, but a different lens. That lens isn't magic, it's habitual. Maybe you grew up hearing, "We can't afford that," so every purchase feels like a moral test. Or you heard, "Rich people are greedy," so you've avoided wealth to stay good. Those scripts loaded your lens with doubt. Meanwhile, someone else heard, "Money is a tool. Learn to use it." And their lens let in sunlight. They saw dollars as building blocks, not bricks in a prison wall. Neither lens is your destiny. You can clean the lens, replace the script, and let a new worldview come into focus. Signs your money lens needs cleaning. You avoid checking balances. Dread at every glance reveals fear over facts. You label wealth, luck, or greedy. That language keeps you outside the game. When you hoard cash in fear, stockpiling feels safe, but traps you in place. You dodge money conversations. Them silence maintains limitation. Dialogue invites change. If any of these resonate, your lens is distorting reality, and the good news is you can swap it out. Practical steps to reframe your money lens. 1. Audit beliefs. List every money belief you recall and where you heard it. Awareness is the first step to change. 2. Score beliefs. Rate each from 5, very limiting, to +5, empowering. Notice which drag your score negative. Pintisadi. Replace them by turn money is hard to keep into money flows to value. Repeat your new beliefs. Write them. Say them. Feel them. Neighbor. Rethink questions. Swap. Why can't I afford this? For. How can I afford this smartly? Questions steer your brain. Choose ones that seek solutions. 5. Visualize abundance. Each morning, picture using money strategically, building assets, not just covering bills. Visualization rewires neural pathways. Line 6. Practice gratitude. Each night, note 3 ways money helped you today. Gratitude shifts your lens from lack to abundance. Consider Jane, who believed investing is only for the wealthy. Each market dip triggered panic. I'll lose it all. Then she chose a new lens. Investing is a skill I can learn, and began putting $50 per month into an index fund. She blinked at her first small gain, but that success cracked her scarcity filter, sparking research into other asset classes. A year later, Jane isn't a millionaire, but she's an investor, and her lens now sees opportunity where fear once reigned. For example, when an unexpected expense pops up, a scarcity mindset triggers panic. You delay payments and avoid budgeting, whereas an abundance mindset immediately shifts into problem solving. Asking, how can I cover this and still grow? If you get a pay raise, scarcity urges you to upgrade your lifestyle. Abundance allocates part of the raise to learning or investing. When a friend suggests a side hustle, scarcity whispers, I don't have the time or know how. While abundance sparks curiosity, what small step can I take right now? During market volatility, scarcity makes you want to sell assets to prevent loss, whereas abundance invites you to research and focus on long-term value before deciding. These shifts require unlearning old habits. If you compulsively check your balance, train yourself to review finances only once a day. Scan broadly, note trends, then close the books. If you binge consume alarmist headlines, replace them with balanced financial podcasts. If you avoid money talk, share a financial goal with a trusted friend. Each small change cleans the lens. Anchoring your abundance lens. Place sticky notes with mantras like, "Money is a tool, not a threat," on your mirror. Set your phone wallpaper to read, "Ask how, not why not." These visual anchors cue your brain to switch filters automatically. The two-question drill. Whenever a financial choice appears, ask, not to 1, what possibilities exist here? 2, what small action can I take today toward that possibility? Running every decision through this drill rewires your brain to default to abundance, from lens to liftoff. As your lens sharpens, you'll volunteer to pitch cost-saving ideas at work, explore new investment apps without dread, and share money mindset articles with friends. Your appetite for growth replaces the impulse to hide. You'll notice fear fading and curiosity rising. And you'll begin to act before the next opportunity slips away. This is the core of Section 2. Moving from unintentional, inherited filters to an intentional lens that magnifies opportunity. Every choice from here on out is informed by that clarity. Up next, you'll discover how income and assets behave differently through your new lens, and how shifting focus from active paychecks to wealth-building machines accelerates your journey. You've seen how your lens shapes every money choice. Now it's time to change what you focus on. Most people spend their lives trading hours for dollars, believing that a bigger paycheck equals more freedom. But freedom doesn't come from earning more. It comes from creating systems that earn for you, whether you work or not. That's the heart of the income versus assets shift. Active income may keep you afloat, but assets build wealth machines that carry you forward. Imagine your work week as a fuel gauge. Each hour you clock in drains the tank, and when the tank hits empty, the money stops. That's active income. Your time is the fuel. You work an extra shift, fill the tank, and feel relief. But the gauge never goes beyond full. You hit a ceiling because there's only so much time in a day and only so much energy in your body. Even if you land a raise, the pattern remains. More hours, more output, more stress, until burnout. Real freedom lies on the other side of that ceiling, where assets live. Assets are anything that put money in your pocket without demanding your constant presence. Rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, royalties from books or courses, you name it. Assets work for you, so you can work on what matters. Big ideas, relationships, even rest. They decouple your income from your time. And once you experience that shift, you'll never look at paychecks the same way again. Let's walk through 2 stories to illustrate the difference. Meet Alex, who treats money like water in a bucket with a hole. He keeps pouring dollars in through overtime, but they leak out on rent, car payments, and everyday expenses. Every extra dollar buys only temporary relief. Another night out, a newer gadget, a last-minute trip to escape stress. When his overtime ends, his bucket is empty again. He never questions the hole. Now meet Taylor. Taylor earns a modest salary, but commits 10% of every paycheck to building assets, purchasing a share of an index fund, creating a digital course, or buying parts for a rental property down payment. At first, it feels slow. $200 here, $300 there. But each asset generates small streams of income. Dividends drip in quarterly. Course sales trickle during off-season. Rent covers mortgage costs. Those drips add up. Over time, Taylor's assets produce more than the initial salary raise would have, without Taylor needing to clock more hours. Instead, Taylor uses freed up time to learn new skills, nurture relationships, or simply rest. The The key difference between Alex and Taylor isn't ambition or intelligence. It's where they focus their energy. Alex hunts bigger paychecks. Taylor builds machines that pay out while Taylor sleeps. Both paths require work, but one trades time for money indefinitely, while the other trades a bit of time now to build perpetual income later. Why active income has a ceiling? Time scarcity. There are only 24 hours in a day and only so many productive hours you can log before fatigue. Energy limits. Mental and physical energy deplete. Even passion projects burn you out if they rely solely on you. Stress and health. A constant grind leads to stress-related illnesses, reducing quality of life and work capacity. Dependency. If you lose your job or can't work due to illness, your entire income stream vanishes. Active income is vital. It pays the bills, funds learning, and tests your skills. But by itself, it can never deliver lasting freedom. That's where assets come in. What count as an asset? 1. Real estate, rental properties, REETs, or raw land that appreciates and or generates rent. 2. Financial investments, dividend-paying stocks, bonds, index funds, peer-to-peer lending. 3. Intellectual property, books, online courses, music, patents, anything that earns royalties. 4. Businesses and systems, automated e-commerce stores, software subscriptions, licensed franchising. 5. Digital assets, YouTube channels, blogs with ad revenue, affiliate marketing websites. Assets fall into 2 categories. Those that generate passive cash flow immediately, like rent checks, and those that appreciate in value over time, like stocks. Ideally, you build a portfolio that does both. Building your first asset. You don't need $1 million to start. You need a strategy and consistent action. Here's how to get started today. 1. Identify your resources. What skills, interests, or contacts can you leverage? If you know graphic design, a digital product could be your asset. If you love photography, consider licensing stock images. 2. Set a small, specific goal. Instead of make passive income, aim for generate $100 per month from asset X. Concrete targets fuel progress. 3. Allocate time and money. Dedicate a fixed percentage of your time, say 2 hours per week, and income, say 5% of each paycheck, to asset building. 4. Learn and execute. Study how successful people in your asset class do it. Then take imperfect action. Record your course. List your property. Launch your blog. 5. Automate and delegate. As soon as revenue kicks in, automate what you can. Automated email funnels, property management services, or delegate small tasks to freelancers. And 6. Reinvest profits. Channeling early profits back into building or acquiring new assets fuels a compounding cycle. Remember, assets rarely grow overnight. They demand endurance, amateur mistakes, and revisions. But that slow, steady compounding is what separates wealth builders from paycheck chasers. The myth of high income equals wealth society teaches us to worship 6-figure jobs. And yes, earning more is beneficial, up to a point. But if you spend every extra dollar on new toys, you remain trapped in the active income loop. High income without asset building just raises your lifestyle's floor and ceiling. You spend more, so you need more. That's lifestyle inflation. Imagine 2 professionals. One earns $100,000 per year and spends it all on a big house, new cars, vacations, and designer labels. The other earns $60,000 but invests $20,000 into assets, living on $40,000. At the end of 5 years, the first has a hefty debt load and 0 assets. The second has a growing nest egg and multiple modest income streams. Which one is wealthier? It's not about salary. It's about whether your money works for you. Mindset shift to asset thinking. From "can I afford this?" to "how can this purchase become an asset?" Before spending on consumer goods, ask, will this put money back in? If not, redirect funds to something that will. From "I'll work harder to earn more" to "I'll work smarter to build more." Channel your best hours into asset creation, not extra shifts. From "I need security in cash" to "I need security in diversified assets." A balanced portfolio smooths out market swings and mitigates risk. From "I'll deal with finances when I have time" to "I schedule asset building tasks every week." Habitual consistency beats random bursts of effort. Vivid examples of asset power. Dividend drip. You invest $5,000 in a dividend ETF that yields 3% annually. That's $150 per year, small at first, but you reinvest the dividends, and the next year you earn on $5,150. Compound interest is your silent partner. Course, cash flow. You spend a weekend creating a short online course for $100 hosting fees. 2 students buy it at $50 each. Break even on day 1. As more students enroll, you earn without adding hours. Rental return. You buy a furnished room for $20,000 and rent it for $300 per month, earning $600 annually after expenses. That cash flow buys groceries, meaning your salary becomes pure saving or reinvestment. Blog build. You start a niche blog, write 1,000 words per week, and monetize with affiliate links. 6 months in, it brings $200 per month. You outsource posts and watch income grow while you sleep. Overcoming common asset building fears. I don't have enough money. Start with what you have. Micro-investing platforms let you buy fractional shares. Digital products cost near zero to launch. I don't know how to learn. Free resources, podcasts, YouTube tutorials. You can become competent in almost anything with intentional practice. It's too risky. Diversify. Never put all your asset eggs in one basket. Combine income streams across real estate, stocks, and intellectual property. I'll wait for the right time. There's no perfect moment. Perfect timing is an illusion. Momentum comes from starting imperfectly. Your asset building blueprint or Ambu ID and 1. Define your asset portfolio mix. Choose 2 to 3 asset classes that fit your skills, budget, and passion. Create a timeline. Map milestones. First, $100 in dividends. First course sale and first rent payment. 3. Automate savings. Set up automated transfers each payday to your investment or asset fund. 4. Track and adjust. Review every quarter what's performing, what needs tweaks. Reallocate capital accordingly. 5. Scale strategically. When an asset class proves itself, double down. If dividends beat expectations, invest more. If your course stalls, improve marketing or content, measuring your shift. Instead of tallying only your paycheck, track your asset income line. Each month, note passive income generated. Celebrate when passive income covers small bills, like utilities or groceries. Those milestones prove your machines are firing on all cylinders. From paycheck to progress, you're no longer a worker begging for overtime. You're a builder designing systems that reward you for creativity and effort today, and continue to reward you tomorrow. That shift transforms not just your bank account, but your entire life, opening time for relationships, health, and personal growth. As your assets multiply, you gain leverage. Not only do you have more money, but you also have more freedom to decide how you spend your most precious, non-renewable resource, time. And with that freedom comes the true power of wealth, the ability to choose. With this new focus on assets, you'll find that every dollar you earn has two jobs, one to cover today's needs and one to fuel tomorrow's dreams. You've cleaned your lens in Section 2, now you're building machines in Section 3. Next, we'll tackle how scarcity and abundance mindsets either choke or amplify those machines, so you can maintain momentum when the unexpected hits. You've learned to build machines that earn while you sleep, but what happens when your inner critic whispers, "This isn't safe," or "You don't deserve success"? That's the scarcity mindset striking back. Scarcity is a fear-based lens that fixates on what's missing: money, time, opportunity, and it keeps you locked in survival mode. Abundance, by contrast, is a growth-oriented lens that sees resources as expandable and possibilities as endless. In this section, you'll uproot the scarcity stories that choke your progress and cultivate the abundance mindset that fuels lasting wealth. Scarcity feels like a tightening in your chest whenever you think about investing or spending on growth. It sounds like, "I can't afford the risk," or "What if I fail?" Abundance, conversely, invites curiosity. What can I learn if I try? And how can I turn this challenge into an advantage? Scarcity whispers that there's only one pie, and if someone gets a slice, you lose yours. Abundance knows that by working together, creating value and sharing insights, you enlarge the pie for everyone involved. This shift from zero-sum thinking to win-win thinking transforms not only your bank balance, but your entire approach to life. Recognizing scarcity at work, constricting fear, you hesitate to explore new ventures because you fear loss more than you desire gain. Hoards and hides, you stash cash under the mattress or in low-yield accounts, convinced liquidity equals security. Comparison trap, you measure your worth by others' success, feeling threatened rather than inspired. Reluctant to share, you guard your secrets, believing that if someone else learns what you know, you lose your edge. Short-term fixation, you focus on immediate survival, covering today's bills rather than long-term growth. If any of these sound familiar, you've met scarcity in action. But scarcity is not a permanent condition. It's a mindset pattern you learned and can unlearn. Why scarcity persists. Scarcity thinking has deep roots in human psychology. Our ancestors survived by hoarding scarce resources, food, shelter, allies. That instinctive wiring is powerful and automatic. Add modern stressors, uncertain jobs, unstable markets, rising costs, and scarcity switches on like a fire alarm in your brain. Under scarcity, your mind narrows focus to the threat at hand, shutting out long-term strategy and creative problem solving. You deserve better than reactive survival. You deserve proactive growth. The high cost of scarcity. Scarcity mindsets drive decisions that feel safe but stunt growth. Opportunity costs. You pass on investments or courses that could multiply your capabilities. Stagnant networks. You avoid networking or masterminds, fearing you'll look foolish if you don't know answers. Emotional toll. Chronic fear and anxiety wear you down, draining energy from creative ventures. Self-sabotage. You unconsciously undermine progress, missing deadlines, procrastinating, or abandoning projects at the first sign of trouble. In the loneliness of scarcity, success seems remote. Yet, abundance offers a clear path forward, cultivating an abundance mindset. Abundance doesn't mean ignoring reality or spending recklessly. It means recognizing that 1. Resources expand. Knowledge, opportunities, and connection are multiplied through sharing. Forward 2. Value fulfillment and creation is unlimited. The more value you offer, the more value flows back to you. Teman tree. Collaboration triumphs. Working with others unlocks synergies you can't achieve alone. But more, growth lies beyond comfort. Risk is not a monster, it's the doorway to progress. Here's how to shift from scarcity to abundance, step by step. 1. Reframe risk as exploration. Scarcity sees risk as potential failure. Abundance sees risk as data. When you account for possible outcomes, both good and bad, you reduce fear and empower choice. Next time you hesitate, list 3 possible benefits and 3 lessons should things go sideways. That simple exercise reframes risk into exploration. 2. Adopt a growth question. All will replace "what do I stand to lose" with "what can I learn?" and "how can I pivot if needed?" Questions direct your mind. Scarcity. Questions magnify obstacles. Growth questions highlight pathways forward. 3. Practice generosity. Give away your best ideas without fear. When you offer help, connection, or insights, you build trust and reciprocal networks. Generosity doesn't deplete your wealth. It signals abundance to your brain and community. 4. Create an abundance affirmation. Write a short, powerful statement. Opportunities expand as I create value, and repeat it daily, ideally when you wake up and before bed. Anchoring an affirmation retrains your subconscious. 5. Visualize shared success. Spend 2 minutes a day imagining win-win scenarios. Partnering with a mentor to launch a product, teaming up with peers on a side project, or collaborating to scale a business. Visualization primes your brain to recognize real-world openings. 6. Curate your input. Fill your social feeds, podcasts, and reading lists with abundant speakers and writers. Seek stories of collaboration, creative problem-solving, and mutual growth. Replace scarcity-driven headlines with content that empowers you to think big. 7. Track generative actions. Keep a simple ledger. Each time you collaborate, share, or learn something new, mark it. Reviewing your ledger reveals patterns of expansion, further weakening scarcity's grip. Vivid abundance in action. Picture Maria, who runs a small graphic design business. Scarcity told her to hoard her process, doubling prices so no one could afford to copy her. Growth stalled, and clients dried up. One day, a colleague offered to refer clients to her if Maria shared a simplified version of her workflow online. Maria hesitated. What if competitors undercut her? But she reframed risk as exploration. She posted a tutorial with unique case studies and next-level tips locked behind a paid course. The free tutorial showcased her expertise, attracted dozens of leads, and boosted course sales. By giving away value, Maria expanded her network and income. That's abundance. Or imagine Liam, who feared every market dip would wipe out his investments. Scarcity urged him to sell at the slightest red candle. Then he learned to view volatility as opportunity. If prices fall, I can add more shares at a discount. When the next downturn hit, Liam bought more shares, recovered faster when markets rebounded, and earned dividends on a larger stake. Fear became strategy. Daily abundance rituals. Morning expansion. Check. Before you scroll news or socials, ask, what new opportunity can I create or share today? Let that question guide your first actions. Midday generosity. Pause, at lunch, send a note or resource to someone you admire or could help. The simple act of giving reinforces abundance. Evening reflection on wins. Journal 3. Small ways you embraced abundance. Perhaps you asked for feedback, offered assistance, or saw an overlooked opportunity. Celebrating these wins rewires your reward system. Overcoming abundance roadblocks. Even as you practice abundance, scarcity may sneak back in. When it does, Name the fear. Say out loud, I'm feeling scarce around X. Naming fear shrinks it. Anchor to evidence. Recall past wins. Times you risked and learned or collaborated and succeeded. Evidence crushes doubt. Revisit your affirmation. Repeat your abundance statement with conviction. Physical posture matters. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and speak firmly. The power of collective abundance. Abundance magnifies exponentially when you collaborate. Consider two entrepreneurs who each create a course. Scarcity keeps them apart, each guarding curriculum. Abundance brings them together. Joint webinars, bundle offers, and cross-promotion. And they reach double the audience while sharing revenue. Together, they each earn more than they ever could solo. That synergy is the beauty of abundance. Sustaining abundance over time. Shifting your mindset isn't a one-and-done event. It's a lifelong practice. Keep your abundance muscle flexed by monthly collaboration goals. Aim to partner on at least one project with someone new or existing each month. Quarterly learning investments. Dedicate a set amount to courses, conferences, or masterminds that expand your capabilities. Annual giving milestones. Whether charitable donations or pro bono work, commit a percentage of your income to causes that matter. These sustained habits create a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you give, learn, and collaborate, the more abundance flows back to you. Abundance versus scarcity in everyday decisions. Unexpected gift arrives. Scarcity asks, what did I spend? Abundance asks, how can this enhance what I'm building? Client asks for a discount. Scarcity sees lost revenue. Abundance sees client retention and referrals. You hit a plateau. Scarcity declares defeat. Abundance asks, what haven't I tried yet? Anchoring your new lens. To embed abundance deeply, create physical reminders, a whiteboard in your workspace with daily abundance goals, an inspirational quote on your desk, or a group chat with peers where you share monthly wins and lessons. These anchors keep scarcity from creeping back under stress. From scarcity to expansion. As you replace fear-based scripts with growth-driven ones, you'll witness profound changes. You'll welcome feedback instead of fearing criticism. You'll invite partnerships instead of hoarding ideas. You'll view setbacks as curriculum for greater success. Each day, abundance becomes less like a nice idea and more like your natural state. You'll stop seeing money or opportunity as threats and start seeing them as allies in your journey. This is the power of Section 4, moving beyond survival mode into a mindset where resources multiply through collaboration, learning, and generosity. You've cleaned your lens and built machines that earn. Now you're embedding a mindset that ensures every resource, time, money, talent expands rather than shrinks. Up next, we'll explore how spending versus investing reveals your priorities and shapes your financial destiny. You've shifted your lens to see money as seed rather than shackles. And you've begun building wealth machines that earn while you sleep. Now let's turn to another powerful shift. Going from mindless spending to intentional investing. Most people spend money reflexively on instant gratification, status signals, or emotional comfort, never stopping to ask if their dollars could be working harder. In contrast, investors treat every dollar like a soldier, sending it into battle with a clear mission: earn more. This simple mindset difference is the gatekeeper between staying broke and building lasting wealth. Why spending feels so good and why it hurts. Spending triggers an immediate dopamine hit. You swipe your card, and a thrill surges as you envision new shoes, a fancy gadget, or a weekend escape. That rush feels rewarding until the bill arrives. and regret follows. Spending is a one-way transaction. You give money, and it's gone. When spending becomes your default, your financial story is written in one-line tragedies. Paycheck in, money out, rinse and repeat, as the emotional spending amplifies the problem. You spend to celebrate, comfort, or distract yourself from stress. Perhaps you buy coffee every morning to feel fancy, or you upgrade your phone because everyone else has the latest model. Those small choices accumulate. A $5 latte daily costs $150 a month. A $1,000 phone every 2 years costs $40 a month. You don't see those figures in the moment of joy, but over time, they drain assets that could fuel your future. Investing. A two-way street. Investing flips the script. You give money and it returns with interest, growth, or dividends. Consider investing as a deposit in your personal finance bank, a deposit that earns interest on top of itself. Each invested dollar becomes a tiny money machine, unlike spending, which evaporates value instantly. Investing holds potential for exponential growth, shifting from buy now to build now. Your mindset determines the question you ask. When facing a spending decision, instinctively you might think, can I afford this? That question often leads to justification or avoidance. Instead, rewire your brain to ask, how can this purchase become an investment? If the answer isn't clear, redirect those funds towards something that will multiply. For example, imagine you're eyeing a $200 designer jacket. Scarcity tells you it's too expensive. Abundance tempts you to buy it because you deserve it. Investing mindset nudges you to consider whether that $200 could be better used. Could you deposit it into an index fund that yields 7% annually over 30 years? Those $200 contributions compound into over $3,700. That's not to shame a wardrobe upgrade. Sometimes enjoyment matters, but to highlight the opportunity cost. Every dollar is a soldier. Treat each dollar like a soldier in your financial army. Dollars can be deployed to fight for your future, or left idle where they erode via inflation. When you spend on liabilities, things that drain your wallet, you send soldiers into pointless skirmishes. When you invest in assets, things that grow in value or generate cash flow, you send soldiers on strategic missions that expand your territory. Here's how to marshal your troops. Mike 1. Invest first, spend later. Abro on payday. Automate a transfer of a fixed percentage, say you're at 10%, into an investment or savings account before you touch the rest. This pay yourself first tactic ensures you fund your future before funding impulses. Night Nu. Reallocate fund money. If you budget $300 a month for discretionary spending, consider splitting it. 150 years for fun, 150 years for micro investments like fractional shares or small business ventures. You still enjoy life, but you build assets alongside. 3. Delay gratification ritual. When you feel the urge to splurge, implement a 48-hour rule. Write down the item, set a reminder, and revisit the desire after 2 days. Often, the impulse fades and the opportunity cost becomes clearer. 4. Round up investing. Use apps or bank features that round each purchase to the nearest dollar and invest the difference automatically. Those spare cents accumulate faster than you think. 5. Allocate bonuses and windfalls. When you receive unexpected money, a tax refund, bonus, or gift, resist the urge to spend it all. Instead, earmark at least 50% for investing or debt reduction. Vivid spending versus investing examples. Morning routine. Scarcity mindset has you budgeting every coffee to avoid waste. Abundance mindset encourages you to invest in your energy. perhaps budgeting for a quality blender and starting homemade smoothies, freeing up coffee money to invest automatically. Tech upgrade. You feel pressured to buy the newest laptop. Instead, you compare the performance gains with the potential investment returns of delaying the upgrade. If investment gains exceed the benefit, you postpone the purchase. Dining out. You love lunch with friends, and it costs $50 per day. That's $300 a month. Investing mindset prompts you to plan 2 restaurant lunches per week and pack the other days. You save $120 monthly, money that goes into your investment soldiers. Emotional spending traps and how to disarm them. 1. Stress spending. You shop when you feel overwhelmed. Counter this by identifying triggers after a tough meeting or during a slump and inserting a healthy pause, a walk, a chat with a friend, or a quick journal entry. Notice the urge, but don't act on it immediately. Item 2. Social comparison. Seeing peers flaunt purchases can push you to keep up. Instead, remind yourself, their financial goals may differ from mine. Focus on your long-term vision and the assets you're building, not on others' highlight reels. 3. Retail therapy. When you crave distraction, redirect that energy to micro-investments that feel tactile, like purchasing a few shares of a company you admire, or channel it into a short creative project that could grow into an asset. Building an investor's routine. Investec doesn't have to be complex. Establish a simple, repeatable routine. Weekly check-in, 15 minutes. Review your investments, track small wins, and reinforce your progress. Monthly asset allocation review, 30 minutes. Rebalance contributions between asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate crowdfunding, according to your goals and risk tolerance. Quarterly learning session. For 1 hour, read an article or watch a video about a new asset type, cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer lending, or NFTs. Curiosity fuels smarter investing. Annual portfolio reflection. Ya know in 2 hours? Analyze overall performance, set new targets, and adjust your automated contributions if needed. These habits weave investing into your life like brushing teeth, simple, non-negotiable, and compounding over time. Overcoming common investing fears. Fear of loss. Accept that all investments carry risk. Educate yourself on historical returns and always diversify. Risk is the fee you pay for potential reward. Analysis paralysis. Too much information can stall action. Commit to learning 20% of what experts know. Then take imperfect action. You'll learn faster by doing than by endless research. Lack of capital. Start with whatever you have. Micro-investing platforms allow contributions as low as $1. Larger portfolios grow from consistent small steps. Remember Taylor in Section 3. Aligning spending and investing with your values. True wealth isn't just numbers in a spreadsheet. It's the freedom to live according to your values. When you invest first, you free up time and resources to focus on what matters. Family, health, creativity, and purpose. Align your investments with causes or industries you believe in, sustainable energy, education, or local businesses, and each dollar you invest becomes a vote for the future you want. The habit loop, from spending to investing. 1. Cue. You receive income or anti-stress impulse. 2. Craving. You feel the urge to spend or the desire to grow. 3. Response. Instead of heading to the mall, you redirect a portion of funds to your automated investment plan. 4. Reward. You celebrate a micro milestone. Your portfolio crosses a new threshold, or your passive dividends cover a small expense. Over time, this loop becomes automatic. Investing outcompetes spending as the more rewarding habit. Measuring your investing success. Shift your metrics from how much did I spend to how much did my assets grow. Track passive income generated, dividends, rental income, royalties each month. Portfolio value growth, quarterly snapshots. Kitani and reinvestment rate, percentage of passive income that you channel back into assets. Goal progress, micro targets. First 100th or passive income. First $1,000 portfolio. First asset fully paid off. Celebrate each milestone. Those wins reinforce your new spending versus investing identity. From consumer to investor identity. As you invest first and spend later, you'll notice a fundamental identity shift. You no longer see yourself as someone who buys stuff, but as someone who builds wealth. Your language changes from, "I'd love to get that," to, "How can I use my resources to acquire more income streams?" That identity becomes self-fulfilling. You naturally prioritize investing, and your financial results follow. Smooth transition to continued growth. You've cleaned your lens, built income machines, uprooted scarcity, and now you're deploying every dollar as a soldier in your asset army. This transformation creates momentum, but momentum must be maintained. Next, you'll learn how to value time above all and buy back hours through leverage, turbocharging the assets you've invested in. That shift from trading time for money to using money to buy time is the catalyst for true freedom, and it starts with recognizing time as your highest asset. You've treated every dollar like a soldier in your financial army. Now it's time to give that army something priceless to protect: your time. You've heard, "Time is money," but that phrase undersells the truth. Money can be replaced, but time cannot. Every moment you trade for dollars is a piece of your life you'll never reclaim. The secret of the wealthy isn't simply earning more. It's buying back their hours so they can invest those hours in high-value activities. In this section, you'll learn how to stop selling your time and start using money to purchase freedom. Think about your typical week. You wake, commute, work 8 or more hours, commute home, handle chores, eat, and crash. Your time is parceled out to obligations you may not even enjoy. When did you last feel like you truly owned your schedule? When did you get to spend an entire afternoon learning something new, building with your hands, or simply resting without guilt? If that feels rare, you're stuck in the time for money trap. Trading time for money. Most people believe the trading hours for dollars is the only way to earn. If you don't work, you don't get paid. That's active income. And it has inherent limits. You can only work so many hours before fatigue, family demands, or health intervene. Worse, the more you trade time for money, the more you devalue your own hours. If you're billing $50 an hour, then spending 6 hours on tasks a virtual assistant could handle at $10 an hour is a net loss of $240 in opportunity cost. Yet you do it because you haven't paused to calculate your true hourly value. Why time beats money. Irreversibility. You can earn back lost dollars. You can't earn back lost minutes. Leverage. Money multiplied can buy systems, people, and technology to operate without you. Time, once spent, is gone forever. Creative capacity. Your best ideas, your most meaningful work, and your richest relationships require focused, uninterrupted blocks of time, something elite performers guard fiercely. When you grasp that time is your highest asset, you stop treating every hour as expendable and start protecting your calendar the way a CEO protects investor capital. Buying back time. Wealthy individuals don't just sell time, they buy it back. They use money to reclaim hours for what truly matters: strategy, creativity, health, and relationships. Here's how to start. Calculate your true hourly value. O. Divide your after-tax income by the number of hours you work annually, including commute and admin tasks. Factor in realistic vacation and sick days. That number is a baseline. If a task costs less than your hourly rate, outsource it. 2. Outsource low-value tasks. O. List every regular obligation: house cleaning, grocery shopping, email sorting, appointment scheduling. Delegate or automate as many as you can. Paying someone $15 an hour to handle chores gives you hours to focus on income-producing or soul-nourishing activities. 3. Automate repetitive workflows. O. Identify digital tasks, bill pay, data entry, email responses that repeat weekly or monthly. Use automation tools or scripts to handle these automatically. At first, setup takes effort, but that effort multiplies into freed hours each week. Leverage virtual assistants and freelancers. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or specialized VA services allow you to hire professionals for under your hourly rate. Delegate tasks beyond admin, customer service, social media, research, so you can focus on high-impact decisions. 5. Invest in passive income projects. Whether you create an online course, buy a rental property, or build a dividend portfolio. Each passive income stream buys time later. That $300 per month from a digital product could replace 3 hours of consulting work, giving you 3 hours back each month. 6. Use subscription services carefully. Grocery delivery, laundry pickup, and meal prep kits may cost a premium. But if they save you hours of mundane work each week, the time savings can justify the expense. Calculate cost per hour saved to decide if subscriptions fit your priorities. Vivid examples of buying back time. The freelance marketer. Sarah bills $80 an hour for digital ad strategy. She spends 10 hours per month on administrative tasks, optimizing ad budgets. Reporting. She hires a VA at $12 per hour to handle reporting, freeing up 10 hours she uses to design higher value campaigns that earn $1,600 extra each month. Her net gain isn't just $800 saved, it's $1,600 additional revenue. The busy parent. David juggles a full-time job, 2 kids, and household chores. He invests $200 per month in a meal delivery service that handles prep. That saves him 8 hours weekly, 32 hours per month of frustration, cooking, and cleanup. He spends those hours helping with homework, exercising, and launching a part-time coaching practice that already brings in $500 monthly. The entrepreneur. Priya automates client onboarding with a funnel that sends contracts, gathers information, and schedules calls. She invested $500 in setup, but now saves 4 hours per client. With 10 clients a month, that's 40 reclaimed hours, time she reinvests in product development, which doubled her revenue this quarter. Guarding your calendar, protecting time starts with saying no. Wealthy people are ruthless about their calendars. They treat appointments as commitments to themselves, not just to others. Here's how to build that muscle. Time blocking. Allocate specific blocks for deep work, meetings, personal care, and family. Treat those blocks like unbreakable meetings. If someone requests your time, propose an alternative slot. No meeting days. Designate at least 1 day per week with 0 external demands. No meetings, no calls. Use that day for creative work, planning, or rest. Meeting audits. Every meeting you schedule or accept must have a clear agenda, desired outcome, and time limit. If either party can't articulate why it's necessary, skip it. Email and notification fasts. Turn off notifications for all but the most urgent apps. Set designated email checking times, once mid-morning, once late afternoon. to prevent constant context switching. Investing in your energy time reclaimed is only valuable if you have the energy to use it. Top performers invest in their physical and mental health. Sleep as strategy. Guard 8 hours of sleep nightly. Experiment to find your ideal window. Some need 9 hours, others 7. Without rest, every reclaimed hour loses potency. Movement breaks. Schedule brief movement, stretch, a walk, or meditate every 90 minutes. These micro breaks recharge focus and prevent burnout. Nutrition and hydration. Meals that sustain energy, protein, healthy fats. Hydration are time investments, reducing fatigue and mental fog. Mindfulness and reflection. Reserve a daily window, 5 to 10 minutes, for journaling or silent reflection. Clarity of mind amplifies the payoff of your reclaimed hours. The power of time multipliers. Certain actions act as multipliers, saving time on a massive scale. Skill stacking. Become proficient at tools that automate or accelerate tasks. Spreadsheet macros, copy and paste text expanders, project management software. Process documentation. Write down standard operating procedures for recurring tasks. When you delegate or revisit the task months later, you'll follow steps without friction. Pre-commitment devices. Use services like autopay, subscription renewals, and recurring calendar invites to lock in desired behaviors. Preventing decision fatigue. Batching tasks. Group similar tasks, calls, creative writing, errands, into single blocks to minimize context switching and maximize flow. Each multiplier compounds your time savings. When you document a process once and use it 10 times, you've multiplied that initial effort across future hours, from time poverty to time wealth. Time poverty, when every moment is scheduled by others, keeps you stuck. Time wealth is a feeling of spaciousness, choice, and autonomy. You decide how you spend your hours, not the other way around. Here's how to transition. 1. Audit your week. Track how you use every 30-minute block for 7 days. Identify time sinks, tasks that offer little payoff, and underutilized golden hours, periods of high energy spent on low-value activities. 2. Reassign the sunk hours. For each low-value task, decide, outsource, automate, or eliminate my error. Start with the biggest time sinks, cascading the free time into deep work or asset building. 3. Schedule your high-value blocks. Block out your peak energy hours for strategic tasks, brainstorming, planning, creating. Treat these blocks as sacred. 4. Implement 1 monthly time purchase. Each month, spend part of your income to buy back time. A cleaning service, a course to automate work, or a tool subscription. Track ROI, hours saved and revenue gained from those hours. Number 5, build a time buffer. Don't pack every minute with tasks. Leave intentional breathing space to handle emergencies, creativity, and rest. A 10 to 15% buffer prevents feeling overcommitted. Vivid transformation. Example, Maria, a software developer, used to code 10 hours a day, then crash with video games. She realized her true expertise was architecting systems, not repetitive debugging. She invested in a senior QA service at $25 per hour, half her billing rate. She reclaimed 5 hours a week, which she devoted to designing a new SaaS feature. That feature skyrocketed her company's revenue by 15%, leading to a promotion and bonus. By buying back time, she unlocked her highest value contribution. Maintaining your time wealth. Reclaiming time once is powerful. Sustaining it is transformational. Quarterly time reviews. Every 3 months, re-audit your schedule. Has outsourcing slipped? Are new low-value tasks creeping in? Reapply the audit and delegation process. Annual commitment renewal. Choose one major time-saving goal, like having your week's meeting load, and tackle it head-on with system changes and boundary setting. 18. Community accountability. Join or form a mastermind where members share time-saving hacks, delegation successes, and challenges. Collective support keeps you disciplined from hours to legacy. As you buy back hours consistently, you'll notice something profound. You have time to invest in relationships, in personal growth, and in causes beyond profit. That's where true wealth lies. Time wealth allows you to teach your children, mentor peers, innovate boldly, and rest deeply, all while your assets continue earning in the background. With reclaimed time, you step off the hamster wheel of constant work and onto the runway of high-impact living. You no longer ask, "Can I afford the time?" You ask, "How can I best use my time to live a rich life?" Next, you'll discover how the words you choose about money shape your mindset and actions, so you can speak wealth into existence and amplify every dollar and every hour you've reclaimed. You've learned to see money clearly, build income machines, conquer scarcity, invest with purpose, and reclaim your most precious resource, time. Now consider this. Even the most powerful mindset and strategies can falter if you're surrounded by voices that drag you back to old patterns. Your environment, digital, physical, and social, acts like gravity on your financial trajectory. It either anchors you in scarcity or launches you toward abundance. In this section, you'll discover how to curate an environment that supercharges your wealth-building efforts by surrounding yourself with the right people, content, and spaces. The invisible forces shaping your finances. Your environment isn't just where you work or live. It's the aggregate of every influence that nudges your thoughts and actions. That includes people, friends, family, colleagues, mentors, content, social media, news outlets, podcasts, books, physical spaces, your home, office, commute, neighborhoods, digital spaces, your email inbox, chat groups, online communities. Each of these inputs sends signals, subtle cues that normalize certain behaviors and mindsets. When most of those signals reinforce fear, limitation, and just enough, you unconsciously adapt to that norm. When they reflect the growth, possibility, and deliberate action, you absorb those traits instead. You are the average of your 5 closest influences. Reflect on the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 spend weekends splurging on fleeting pleasures, complain about money, or dismiss investing as too complicated, your own money lens will wobble back toward scarcity. Conversely, if your circle celebrates learning, shares investment wins, and solves problems collaboratively, you'll rise to their pace and standards. Spotting toxic financial environments. Ask yourself, where do I feel most drained about money? What settings make me doubt my progress? Common red flags include 1. Complaints, not solutions. Conversations that revolve around "I can't" or "the system is rigged," with no pivot to "how might I solve this?" Talk 2. Lifestyle inflation showcases, social feeds dominated by brand new cars, luxurious vacations, and conspicuous consumption. 3. Scarcity rumors and panic news, media that sensationalizes market dips, economic doom, and experts predicting financial crashes. Module 4. Nice job doing nothing. Communities, groups, or forums where idleness is celebrated. I haven't worked in months, instead of achievement. 5. Physical clutter and chaos. A workspace so messy you can't focus, leaking mental energy and reinforcing overwhelm. If any of these resonate, it's time to press pause on that influence and seek alternatives. Crafting a wealth catalyzing circle. You don't need to abandon everyone you know, but you do need to recalibrate whom and what you expose yourself to. Here's how. 1. Identify 5 key relationships. List the 5 people you interact with most regarding career, money, or mindset. Next to each, note whether they lift you up, growth influencers, or pull you down, drainers. For each drainer, reduce time or shift conversation topics away from money complaints. Number 2, seek mentors and peers who stretch you. Join a mastermind group or accountability partnership where members regularly share financial wins, brainstorm solutions, and hold each other to higher standards. Even one monthly call can rewrite your success narrative. Number 3, designate a growth buddy. Partner with someone who shares your asset building goals. Check in weekly on investments, spending challenges, or side hustle progress. You'll reinforce each other's abundance signals. 4, schedule influence audits. Once per quarter, review your circle, both online and offline. Ask, who strengthened my mindset? Who drained my energy? Accept that some relationships may need to be dialed down or phased out. Curating content that elevates your media diet feeds your lens just like food fuels your body. A steady stream of scarcity-driven headlines or sensational market crash punditry primes fear. Instead, build a curriculum of abundance. Podcasts and audiobooks. Subscribe to shows featuring wealth builders, entrepreneurs, and investors. Listen during commutes or workouts to prime your mindset. Newsletters and blogs. Choose authors who analyze economic trends with measured insight and actionable takeaways, not shock tactics. Books and courses. Allocate time each week for structured learning, whether on financial literacy, real estate fundamentals, or digital product creation. Social media. Curate your feed. Unfollow accounts that trigger envy or panic. Follow creators who share strategies. Celebrate small wins. And demystify investing. Creating physical spaces. That support. Focus your surroundings. Send subconscious messages about how you value your goals. A cluttered desk whispers, chaos is normal, while an organized, purposeful space affirms, I respect my work and my time. To optimize your physical environment, you must declutter ruthlessly. Clear your workspace of papers, dishes, and distractions. A clean zone reduces mental friction and signals that you take your financial tasks seriously. Establish a wealth corner. Dedicate a shelf or corner for wealth building materials, financial plan, goal tracker, inspiring books, the vision board. Seeing these daily reinforces your priorities. Number 3, incorporate focus rituals. Before deep work sessions, run a quick ritual, light a candle, play a short instrumental track, or do a 30-second breathing exercise to shift into productive mode. 4, control ambient noise. If ramping up in co-working spaces or home offices, use noise-canceling headphones with concentration playlists. Protect your cognitive bandwidth. Now 5, signal boundaries. Close your office door. Hang a do not disturb sign or set a visible timer. Each cue teaches friends, family, and colleagues to respect your wealth-building focus. Cultivating digital environments. Your phone and computer are portals to both opportunity and distraction. To keep digital influence aligned with abundance. Can clean your apps. Delete or mute apps that feed low-value content, time-sink games, toxic gossip channels, doom-scrolling feeds. Filter notifications. Only allow alerts from critical productivity or wealth-building apps, calendar, banking, learning platforms. Set intentional tech times. Block 30-minute windows for email and social media, and news. Outside those windows, keep apps closed to avoid friction. Use website blockers. Tools like Freedom or Stay Focus can limit time on distracting sites during work hours. Automate financial tracking. Use apps that sync bank accounts, categorize expenses, and send weekly summaries so you stay informed without manual effort. The role of community. Nothing accelerates growth like community. Online forums, local meetups, and virtual summits can fill gaps if you lack in-person mentors. Seek out investment clubs, groups analyzing deals together and pooling resources. Entrepreneur meetups, networks of side hustlers sharing tips on marketing, outsourcing, and scaling. Mastermind circles, small cohorts committing to each other's success through regular accountability. Financial literacy meetups, workshops where you learn about budgeting, taxes, and investing basics. Active participation, asking questions, offering value, celebrating others' wins, rewires your internal signals from scarcity to collaboration. Boundary setting, protecting your financial energy surrounding yourself with the right people and content, also means setting healthy boundaries. 1. Transaction-only conversations with known drainers. Limit money talk to specific requests. Can you help me think through this investment? Avoid open-ended complaining loops. 2. Time limits. Cap conversations or meetings at 15-30 minutes. If they veer into negativity, gracefully exit or change the subject to strategy. 3. Physical distance. Work from a different room or a local cafe when home dynamics feel draining. A change of scenery can break old patterns. Digital detoxes. Schedule at least 1 day per week offline. No business groups, no news apps. Use that time for reading, planning, or rest. Boundaries aren't walls. They're filters that ensure the inputs you receive align with your goals. With clear boundaries, you retain control over your environment. Vivid environment transformation stories. The social media curator. Mark found his Instagram feed was filled with flashy lifestyles that left him feeling inadequate. He unfollowed 50 accounts and replaced them with 10 accounts run by self-made investors and entrepreneurs, sharing wins and lessons. Within weeks, he found himself thinking of new side projects instead of longing for others' highlight reels. The home office makeover. Priya worked on spreadsheets surrounded by laundry and takeout boxes. She cleared her desk, hung a vision board, and invested in a second-hand standing desk. That simple upgrade signaled to her brain, "This is my wealth-building zone." Her productivity soared, and she finally launched that online course she'd been delaying. The weekend retreat. A group of friends who'd always met for brunch shifted to a co-working plus accountability model. Each Sunday, they met at a quiet cafe. Every member shared weekly goals, and they tackled tasks side by side. By replacing idle chatter with structured ambition, they all saw measurable progress on projects. Sustaining an abundance environment. Creating the ideal environment is not a one-time event. It requires ongoing maintenance. Monthly environment audits. Review your feeds, friendship, and spaces. Are they still aligned? If new drains emerge, like a toxic Facebook group, remove them promptly. Quarterly upgrades. Refresh your workspace decor. Invest in a new tool or app, or join a higher-level community to match your evolving goals. Annual vision retreat. Once a year, take a day or a weekend offline to reflect on your environment's impact, set new parameters, and recommit to your curated ecosystem. From environment to empowerment. When your environment aligns with abundance, you stop fighting gravity. Your lens stays clear. Your asset machines hum. Your scarcity alarms quiet. Your investments grow, and your time-buying strategies thrive, surrounding yourself with the right people, content, and spaces isn't optional. It's the scaffolding that upholds every financial strategy you implement. As this section closes, envision your newly curated world. Strategic conversations buzzing in mastermind calls, focused hours in a clutter-free workspace, uplifting feeds that fuel your next big idea, and digital guardrails that keep you on track. That environment becomes both your launchpad and your support system. Next, you'll dive into identity, the core of who you believe you are in the financial realm, and learn how adopting the rich thinker identity cements every success you've built so far. But first, take a moment to audit one aspect of your environment today. Unfollow an account that drains you. Schedule a brief call with a growth-minded peer, or clear a clutter hotspot in your workspace. Each small tweak cascades into monumental change. You've cleaned your lens, built income machines, conquered scarcity, invested with purpose, reclaimed your time, and crafted an environment that propels you forward. Now ask yourself, who are you in this new reality? Your identity, how you see yourself at the core, drives every belief, decision, and action. If you still think of yourself as someone who struggles with money, you'll keep acting that way, no matter how many strategies you learn. But when you adopt the identity of a rich thinker, a confident architect of wealth, you automatically embody the habits and mindsets that cement success. In this section, you'll shed limiting self-labels and step fully into the rich thinker identity that rewires your money behaviors from the inside out. Why identity matters. Your identity is the operating system behind your actions. It answers unspoken questions like, am I the kind of person who, and do I deserve? Before you earn more or build assets, you must become the person who deserves those things and knows how to manage them. Neuroscience shows that your brain seeks consistency. When your actions conflict with your self-image, it creates cognitive dissonance, mental friction that pushes you back toward the old habits. To break free, upgrade your identity first. Signs you're operating from a limiting identity. Self-sabotage. You set financial goals, but abandon them at the first hurdle, as if unconsciously preserving your I can't story. Identity anchors. You introduce yourself by what you lack. I'm just not a money person, and I'm too old to learn investing. Outer reliance. You wait for external validation, approvals, promotions, or market booms before taking action. Permutation of excuses. You blame your upbringing, your job market, or the economy for your results, rather than owning your power. Fear of real wealth. You dream of financial freedom, but when opportunities surface, you hesitate, as if wealth belongs to someone else. If any of these sound familiar, you're operating from an identity that undermines your goals. It's time to become someone new and defining your rich thinker identity. A rich thinker embodies beliefs and language and actions aligned with wealth creation. Here are core identity statements to repeat and internalize them daily. 1. I am a builder of wealth. 2. I manage money wisely and multiply it through strategy. 3. I deserve abundance and use it to create freedom. 4. I embrace calculated risk as the path to growth. 5. I invest my time, energy, and resources in high-value activities. 6. I learn from setbacks and pivot quickly. 11. I surround myself with growth-minded people and content. Speak these out loud each morning and evening. Over time, your subconscious will adopt them as truths, and your behavior will align automatically. Practical steps to cement your new identity. 1. Identity journaling. In a dedicated notebook, write your new identity statements as if they're past achievements. I built my first asset. I reclaimed my high-value hours. I generate X in passive income every month. Use a present tense. First-person phrasing. 2. Mirror affirmations. O. Stand before a mirror daily. Look yourself in the eye and declare each identity statement with conviction. Physical posture, standing tall, beaten shoulders back, reinforces the message. 3. Micro-identity experiments. O. Choose one small action that a rich thinker would take, but you've never tried. Pitch a higher rate to a client. Set an investment automation. Or delegate a household chore. Each successful experiment builds confidence in your new identity. 4. Behavior identity alignment. O. For each major decision, spending, investing, time allocation, ask, what would someone who manages money wisely do right now? Let that question steer you away from old habits. 5. Environmental cues. O. Place printed identity statements on your desk or phone wallpaper. Every time you see them, pause and embody the mindset before acting. 6. Accountability partnerships. O. Share your identity shift with a trusted peer. Have them ask you weekly, how have you acted like a wealth builder this week? Reporting progress reinforces the new self-image. Vivid identity transformation example. Consider Carlos, who identified as someone who always lives paycheck to paycheck. His internal dialogue went, I'll never save enough. After Section 7, he committed to mirror affirmations. 2 minutes each day declaring, I am a builder of wealth. He also launched a micro-identity experiment by automating a $25 monthly investment. The first month, he watched the investment drop in value and didn't panic. Instead, he saw data, not personal failure. That small success shattered his old self-narrative. Within 3 months, his savings habit felt effortless, as natural as brushing his teeth. Carlos's identity shifted from scarcity victim to confident investor, overcoming identity resistance. You may feel an internal tug of war. Part of you wants to cling to familiar self-doubt. That's normal. Use these tactics to navigate resistance. Name the resistance. When doubt arises, I'm not cut out for this, as label it. There's the old identity whispering again. Naming detaches you from the fear. Anchor to evidence. Keep a success log of every small wins, a first automation, first delegation, first asset purchase. Review it when doubt creeps in. Tiny habit stacking. Link identity-affirming actions to existing habits. After your morning coffee, recite your identity statements. After logging work hours, jot down how you acted like a wealth builder. Celebrate identity wins. Reward yourself when you notice behavior that aligns with your new identity. Perhaps a coffee treat or a 5-minute break. Positive reinforcement cements change away identity-based habits for rich thinkers. A new identity demands new habits. Commit to daily learning. Spend at least 15 minutes absorbing wealth-building content. Rich thinkers are perpetual students. Weekly reflection. Each Sunday, review how you acted in line with your identity statements and plan next week's alignment experiments. Monthly identity audit. Ask yourself, am I living these identity statements or defaulting to old patterns? Adjust rituals as needed. Quarterly vision. Refresh. Update your financial vision board or journal to reflect expanding goals, reinforcing that your new identity isn't static, it grows with you. Language of the rich thinker. Your internal dialogue must mirror your new identity. Replace phrases like, I can't afford. How can I fund this? I'm not a numbers person. I'm mastering the language of money. I don't deserve Yuri. I create value and deserve abundance. Each shift in wording resets neural pathways, aligning thought with identity. Integrating identity into community, identity solidifies when you act collectively. Engage with communities of wealth builders. Share identity declarations. In a mastermind, open with your current identity statement. Notice how peers mirror and reinforce it. Give and receive feedback. Ask peers to point out moments when you embodied or contradicted your identity. External reflection accelerates internalization. Lead with identity. Offer to mentor someone newer on this journey. Teaching others solidifies your own self-image as a builder and leader. The ripple effect of identity. When you fully step into your rich thinker identity, changes ripple into every domain. Finances improve. You naturally allocate resources to assets, protect time, and leverage your environment. No strategy meeting required. Confidence soars. Challenges become opportunities, not threats. You know you're equipped to handle setbacks. Relationships. Elevate. People perceive your new energy and either rise to engage or fall away, making room for growth-minded connections. Purpose aligns. Daily tasks start feeling meaningful. You see work as expression of your identity, not just a paycheck, anchoring your new self to lock in this transformation. Create an identity ritual. Number 1, morning declaration. Upon waking, sit up in bed and declare your identity statements out loud. Number 2, midday check-in. Pause at lunch and rate yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strongly have I acted like a wealth builder today? Note 1 tweak for the afternoon. Here are 3. Evening gratitude before sleep. Journal 3 ways you lift your identity. Celebrate even the smallest alignment. These rituals tune your mind to your new operating system. Over time, your behaviors, decisions, and results will harmonize with your identity. From identity to unstoppable momentum. Adopting a rich thinker identity is not a finish line. It's the foundation for every next step. With a clear self-image as a wealth architect, strategies from sections 1 through 7 become effortless. You no longer debate whether you deserve to invest or automate, you just do it, because that's who you are. Resistance fades. Momentum carries you forward. Now that you've rewired your core identity, you're poised to translate that into consistent, high-impact habits. In the next stretch, you'll discover the daily routines and practices that transform identity into unstoppable wealth-building momentum. Now that you've stepped fully into your rich thinker identity, it's time to cement that identity through daily habits. Wealth isn't built in a single grand gesture. It's the compound effect of consistent, purposeful actions. In this section, you'll establish a routine that aligns with your new self-image, transforming intentions into results through learning rituals, reflection practices, and calculated risk-taking. These habits aren't chores. They're the lifeblood of your wealth-building journey. Every morning, you have an opportunity to prime your mind for success. Before you reach for your phone or dive into email, invest the first 10 minutes in a morning wealth ritual. Deal Warrior 1. Mindful arrival. Sit up in bed, breathe deeply, and center your awareness on the day ahead. Feel gratitude for one asset you already own: your health, a supportive mentor, or a small investment. Gratitude rewires your brain toward abundance. 2. Identity declaration. Recite your rich thinker statements out loud. I am a builder of wealth. I manage money wisely and multiply it through strategy. Feel each phrase resonate in your body. Posture matters. Stand tall. Shoulders back. You're programming your subconscious at the deepest level. 3. Daily intention setting. Ask, what is the one wealth-building action that will move the needle today? Write that action in a single sentence. I will read 20 pages of an investing book. Or, I will research 3 potential rental properties. Clarity fuels focus. Get per 4. Micro-learning moment. Spend 5 minutes consuming a bite-sized piece of wealth-building content, an article on dividend strategies, a podcast clip on real estate fundamentals, or a short video on automating finances. These micro-inputs accumulate into expertise. With your mind primed, you step into the day with direction and momentum. Throughout your work hours, guard your high-value time. Time blocking for deep work. Schedule 2 or 3 blocks of uninterrupted work, each at least 60 minutes, dedicated to your highest impact projects. Building assets, creating content, or strategic planning. During these blocks, silence notifications and close unrelated tabs. Energy management breaks. Every 90 minutes, take a 5 to 10 minute movement break. Stretch, walk, or practice a brief mindfulness exercise. These micro-pauses restore focus and prevent burnout, ensuring you bring your best self to wealth-building tasks. At lunchtime, conduct a midday check-in. Reflection. Review your morning intention. Did you take your wealth-building action? If not, adjust your afternoon schedule to accommodate it. Accountability partner. Ping. Send a quick message to your growth buddy or mentor. This morning I did X. By 5 p.m. I will have completed Y. Public commitments reinforce follow through. Resource boost. Spend the remainder of your break listening to a high-value audio summary, perhaps a summary of a finance bestseller, or an interview with a seasoned investor. In the afternoon, maintain momentum by batching low-value tasks, emails, administrative work, scheduling, into a single block. Delegate or automate as much as possible. Then, return to a final deep work session before wrapping up your workday. End-of-day wealth practices. When work concludes, transition into evening rituals that reinforce growth. 1. Daily Win Journal. Spend 5 minutes noting 3 accomplishments that advanced your wealth goals, no matter how small. Did you automate a payment? Did you read an article? Celebrate each win to build positive reinforcement loops. Vermont 2. Lesson capture. Write down one insight or lesson learned, perhaps a hesitation you overcame or a mistake you made. Reframing setbacks as data keeps you in learning mode rather than shame. 3. Gratitude for resources. List 3 resources you leveraged today. A contact who offered advice, an app that simplified investing, or a time-saving tool. Recognizing these supports shifts your focus from I lack to I have. Shabur. Evening reading. Dedicate 15 to 20 minutes to reading a chapter of a wealth-building book or a detailed case study. Evening learning cements new neural pathways before sleep. Weekly wealth habits, daily rituals set the foundation, but weekly reflection and planning amplify outcomes. Sunday strategic review, 30 minutes. Progress check. Compare your accomplishments against this week's wealth goals. Obstacle analysis. Identify any patterns. Did you skip deep work session? Did scarcity thoughts resurface? Next week targets. Set 3 clear objectives for the coming week. Launch a mini asset project. Automate another process. Or attend a networking event. Peer accountability call of 15 to 20 minutes. Connect with your growth buddy or mastermind group. Share progress. Troubleshoot challenges. And commit to next steps. External accountability transforms intentions into action. Automations. Audit. OGE verify that all financial automations, savings transfers, investment contributions, bill payments ran smoothly. Adjust contribution percentages if you hit new income milestones. Learning sprint. Block 2 hours for focused learning. An online course module, a workshop, or deep dive research into a new asset class. Treat this sprint as non-negotiable investment in your expertise. Monthly wealth habits, quarterly and annual reviews are crucial, but monthly rituals prevent drift. 91. Portfolio performance, deep dive, O. Analyze returns, dividends, and cash flow data. Compare actuals against targets. Identify underperforming assets and plan reallocations if necessary. Or 2. Expense versus investing ratio check, plan for 30 minutes. Calculate the percentage of your income that went to spending versus investing. Aim for continuous improvement. If you spent 20% last month, target 18% this month. Number 3, skill development plan. Choose one new skill or tool to master. Data analytics for evaluating deals, copywriting for marketing your course, or negotiation tactics for real estate purchases. Set learning milestones across the month. Community engagement. Contribute value to your investment club, mastermind, or online forum. Share a lesson, pose a strategic question, or celebrate a peer's win. Generosity strengthens networks and reinforces your rich thinker identity. 5. Environment refresh. Re-evaluate your workspace and digital feeds. Unfollow any new low-value accounts. Declutter any accumulated distractions. And add one new resource, book, a podcast, or tool that aligns with your evolving goals. Quarterly and annual wealth habits. Every few months and once a year. Zoom out to ensure long-term alignment. Quarterly vision retreat, half day. Step away, physically or mentally, from daily routines. Revisit your big picture vision board, life goals and wealth ambitions. Adjust your identity statements, habits, and asset portfolio to match your growing dreams. Annual financial blueprint, 2 or 3 hours. Conduct a comprehensive audit, net worth statement, passive income milestones, risk assessment review, and tax optimization strategies. Set annual targets for asset growth, time buyback investments, and community impact. Calculated risk-taking rituals. Rich thinkers don't avoid risk, they manage it. Incorporate regular exercises to stretch your comfort zone. Risk Fridays, once a week. Identify a small risk aligned with your goals, pitching for a higher rate, investing an extra $50 in a new asset, or posting a short video sharing insights. Track outcomes to build resilience. Failure debrief sessions. Schedule monthly sessions to dissect any failed experiments, low course sales, an investment dip, or a delegation misfire. Document lessons learned and plan corrective actions. Embracing failure as fuel accelerates growth. Leveraging accountability habits. Cement when paired with accountability. Public declarations. Share monthly wealth targets with your social circle via a blog post, newsletter, or group chat. Public commitments raise the stakes and enlist community support. Habit tracking tools. Use a simple habit tracker app or a paper habit journal to tick off each daily ritual. Visual streaks harness your brain's craving for consistency. Reward milestones. Set non-monetary rewards, an extra day off, a mini vacation, or a special experience for hitting key milestones. First $500 passive income month, 1 year of daily learning, or 5 successful risk experiments. Integrating habits into identity over time. These habits internalize. You don't do morning wealth ritual. You simply do mornings. You don't schedule a weekly review. It happens automatically. That is the power of identity-based habits. Actions flow seamlessly from who you know yourself to be. Avoiding habit burnout. Even the best routines can fade if rigid. Stay flexible. Habit bundling. Pair new habits with enjoyable activities. Listen to inspiring music during your deep work blocks, or review your daily win journal with a cup of tea. Micro adjustments. If a habit feels overwhelming, scale it back temporarily. Reduce reading time from 20 minutes to 10 minutes. then rebuild. Periodic detox weeks, OAU every quarter. Allow 1 week to dial back rituals, to recharge and reflect, before returning with renewed energy. Sustaining compounding momentum. The true magic of these wealth-building habits lies in their compound effect. Each daily ritual, each weekly review, and each calculated risk adds a bit of fuel to your momentum engine. When momentum reaches critical mass, you'll find yourself achieving goals faster than ever imagined. Goals that once felt distant will become your new normal. With these rituals in place, you're no longer drifting from strategy to strategy. You're navigating with precision, propelled by habits that align your lens, identity, and actions. As you maintain these practices, you'll naturally evolve from a skilled learner to a confident wealth architect, ready to tackle the final sections on designing your money ecosystem and consolidating everything into your ultimate money operating system blueprint. You've mastered your mindset, identity, and daily habits. Now it's time to weave everything together into a cohesive ecosystem. Think of your money ecosystem as a living network of people, tools, routines, and assets working in harmony to amplify your wealth building. When your ecosystem is well designed, each component reinforces the others. Your habits feed your assets, your environment sustains your identity, and your passive income buys more time for high-value work. In this section, you'll blueprint a money ecosystem tailored to your goals, ensuring every piece, from digital automation to human accountability, serves your higher purpose. Why ecosystems, not solo strategies? Standalone tactics, like automating investments or outsourcing chores, can improve specific areas, but without integration, they risk fizzling out. An ecosystem connects these tactics so progress compounds. For example, automated savings fuel investments. Investments generate dividends that support asset building. Asset income frees time. Reclaimed time fuels learning rituals. Learning leads to better asset decisions. This feedback loop is your ecosystem in action. When one part falters, the network reroutes energy, keeping you on course. Core components of your money ecosystem. 1. Identity framework. At the heart lies your rich thinker identity statements and rituals. Section 8 and 9. These serve as your ecosystem's mission and operating principles. 2. Habit infrastructure. Your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual rituals form the ecosystem's pacing and maintenance schedule. Sections 5 to 9. 3. Asset portfolio, a diversified mix of real estate, financial investments, intellectual property, and digital assets, aligned with your risk tolerance and goals. Section 3. 4. Time leverage systems automation, delegation, subscription services, and process documentation that free up your high-value hours. Section 6. 5. Environmental design curated social circles, and content feeds, physical workspaces, and digital boundaries that sustain abundance signals. Section 7. 6. Accountability network mastermind groups, growth buddies, mentors, and community platforms providing feedback, motivation, and strategic guidance. 7. Performance metrics dashboard, a streamlined system, spreadsheet, e-app, or journal to track key indicators, passive income, asset growth, spend versus invest ratio, time reclaimed, and habit consistency. And wait, continuous learning loop microlearning, sprints, courses, and reflection sessions to keep your skills and knowledge evolving in sync with your ecosystem's demands. Sections 5 and 9. Building your personalized blueprint. Follow these steps to design an ecosystem that adapts to your life and scales over time. 1. Map your identity and vision. Clarify core values. List your top 3 values: freedom, legacy, creativity, and articulate how wealth enables them. O. Define long-term vision. Write a concise vision statement. By 2030, I will generate X dollars in passive income to fund philanthropic projects and family travel. O. Align identity statements. Ensure your identity rituals directly support this vision. If legacy matters, add, I create generational assets to your declarations. 2. Audit existing components. O. Habits review. Which daily or weekly rituals are robust? Which need reinforcement? O. Asset check. Inventory current assets, noting their cash flows, growth rates, and risk profiles. O. Time leverage score. List delegated or automated tasks and estimate hours saved monthly. O. Environmental scan. Identify draining influences still present and growth resources yet to be tapped. E. Accountability engagement. Evaluate the frequency and depth of your mentor and peer interactions. 3. Plug the gaps for each core component. Ask, what's missing? Examples. O. No performance metrics. Set up a simple dashboard in Google Sheets. O. Lacking a mastermind group. Research and join a relevant community. O. Habit slipping. Introduce habit stacking or micro adjustments. O. Asset imbalance. Explore a new asset class or reallocate contributions. 4. Integrate systems. O. Automate data flow. Connect financial apps, bank accounts, and investment platforms so the dashboard updates in real time. O. Calendar sync. Block all habit rituals. Learning sprints and review sessions in your calendar with recurring invites. O. Notification guardrails. Configure alerts only for critical ecosystem events, like large portfolio swings or delegated task completions. 5. Design feedback loops. O. Daily loop, morning ritual, action, evening reflection. O. Weekly loop, midday check-in, peer accountability, Sunday strategic review. O. Monthly loop, portfolio deep dive, expense ratio check, environment refresh. O. Quarterly loop, vision retreat, habit audit, mastermind summit. O. Annual loop, financial blueprint, identity update, major time purchase. 6. Scale and evolve. O. Prototype new assets. Test a small business idea with minimal risk. If it succeeds, integrate it fully. If not, harvest lessons. O. Expand accountability. As you grow, step into leadership roles, mentor newcomers, host workshops, or start your own mastermind. Teaching reinforces mastery. O. Refine environment. Periodically seek higher-level communities and resources that match your evolving goals. Vivid ecosystem in action. Meet Elena, a mid-career professional. Her ecosystem blueprint looked like this. Identity. I am a strategic wealth builder creating impact. Habits. Morning wealth ritual. Midday check-in. Evening reflection. Sunday review. Assets. 30% in dividend ETF and 20% in rental properties, 10% in digital courses, 40% cash buffer. Time leverage. VA for email sorting, meal prep subscription, automated bill payments. Environment. Weekly mastermind calls, curated podcast playlist, decluttered home office. Accountability. Monthly mentor sessions, peer group Slack channel. Metrics. Dashboard tracking monthly passive income. Habit streaks and time saved hours. Learning. Quarterly courses on tax optimization and real estate syndication. When Elena's rental property hit unexpected repairs, her ecosystem responded. She tapped the cash buffer, discussed solutions in her mastermind, and delegated project management to her VA, freeing her schedule. Meanwhile, her investment automation continued fueling ETFs, and her time leverage systems protected her high-value days. Within weeks, the situation resolved without stress, and she even discovered a new market through mastermind brainstorming. Common ecosystem pitfalls and fixes. Over-automation fatigue. Too many tools can overwhelm. Fix. Trim to essentials. Prioritize systems that save the most time or money. Accountability. Drift. If peer groups lose focus, rotate in fresh members or set stricter agendas. Dashboard overload. Tracking 50 metrics is paralyzing. Fix. Identify the top 5 performance indicators and archive the rest. Habit saturation. Adding too many new rituals at once invites burnout. Fix. Stagger habit introductions. 1 new routine per month. Maintaining ecosystem health. Monthly health check. Rate each component on a 1-5 scale for effectiveness. Low scores signal areas needing attention. Peer ecosystem. Swap. Quarterly. Share blueprint with a trusted peer for feedback. A fresh perspective can reveal blind spots. Continuous simplification. Challenge yourself to delete 1 redundant process or tool each quarter. Simplicity enhances reliability. The ecosystem mindset. Building an ecosystem requires flexibility and curiosity. Like any living system, it evolves. Be comfortable iterating. Try new approaches, measure impact, and adjust. Celebrate micro wins when a new automation saves 10 hours, or when a portfolio reallocation boosts dividends. Each positive adjustment reinforces the network, creating resilience against setbacks. From blueprint to mastery. With your ecosystem operational, you'll experience compounding acceleration. Your habits will flow seamlessly. Your assets will grow steadily. Your time will stay protected, and your identity will feel rock solid. You'll no longer ask, which strategy should I try next? Instead, you'll focus on refining your ecosystem, adding enhancements, and letting the network propel you toward ever higher goals. Next, in Section 11, you'll learn how to overcome final mindset barriers and deepen your resilience, ensuring your ecosystem thrives even in uncertainty. But for now, take out your notebook, sketch your money ecosystem, mapping each core component and its connections, and commit to 1 integration task today. That single connection could unlock months of compounded growth. Even the most polished ecosystem can stall when hidden mental barriers surface. You've cleaned your lens, built machines, embraced abundance, invested wisely, reclaimed time, curated your world, solidified your identity and woven habits into a living system, but without the tools to face fear, failure, and self-doubt. That ecosystem can crack under pressure. In this section, you'll learn to spot and dismantle the final mindset barriers, imposter syndrome, perfectionism, scarcity relapses, and paralysis by analysis, so you can unlock exponential growth and keep momentum even when the unexpected hits. Recognizing your mental barriers first, identify the saboteurs lurking beneath the surface. Fear of failure. You hesitate to launch an asset or pitch a higher rate because you dread being wrong or rejected. Imposter syndrome. You attribute successes to luck and worry you'll be found out as a fraud. Perfectionism. You delay publishing your course or listing your rental because it's not ready. Analysis. Paralysis. You drown in data, market research, spreadsheets, tutorials, yet never take action. Scarcity relapses under stress. You revert to hoarding cash, avoiding investment, or cutting learning budgets. These barriers aren't signs of weakness. They are symptoms of outdated survival wiring and internalized beliefs you inherited long ago. Now that you've rewired many beliefs, it's time to tackle these second-layer blockers. Fear as a signal, not a stop sign. Fear is an alarm system designed to protect you from danger. In modern life, it often misfires, treating growth opportunities as threats. Instead of letting fear freeze you, use it as a signal to explore underlying assumptions. 1. Name the fear. Oh, the moment you feel resistance. Pause and ask, what am I afraid of right now? Saying it aloud. I'm afraid I won't get enough course enrollments to break even. Pulls the power back into your hands. 2. Fear setting. Exercise. Oh, inspired by Tim Ferriss. Break the fear into steps. A. Define worst case scenario. If you launch and 0 people enroll, what happens? Debt? Embarrassment? B. Mitigation plan. How could you limit damage? Offer a beta price, refund guarantee, or lean MVP to test demand. C. Recovery plan. If the worst occurs, what's your next move? Identify fallback options, tweak the offer, pivot to a different asset, or pause and learn. This structured exercise transforms paralyzing what-ifs into clear steps, reducing fear's grip. 3. Reframe failure as data. Oh, a failed ad campaign, a stalled course launch, a market dip. Each is not a character judgment, but data points to refine your approach. Create a failure debrief template. What happened? Why did it happen? What did I learn? What will I do differently next time? OAU logging. These reflections turns failure into a fuel for smarter experiments. Conquering imposter syndrome. Feeling like an imposter means your internal identity script clashes with new realities. You've adopted new beliefs, but your subconscious may still cling to older, I'm not worthy messages. Here's how to reinforce your rich thinker persona. 1-1. Collect evidence of competence. Maintain a success log. Each time you automate a process, unlock a passive income milestone, or receive positive feedback, jot it down with date and context. When self-doubt surfaces, who am I to teach this? Review the log and remind yourself of concrete achievements. 2. Mirror-based affirmations with detail. Instead of generic statements, I am a wealth builder. Use detailed affirmations. I designed and launched my first mini course on budgeting, and 12 students enrolled last month. Specificity boosts credibility in your own mind. 3. Role modeling. Act as if you're mentoring someone else. When writing your next marketing email or planning a webinar, imagine you're advising a peer who looks up to you. This shift from self-doubt to teaching boosts confidence and aligns actions with your new identity. Taming perfectionism. Perfectionism masquerades as high standards, but it's often a fear of being judged or failing to prevent endless tweaking. Enter 1. Define good enough. Set explicit launch criteria. My course launches when it has 5 core lessons, a basic slide deck, and a 1-page syllabus. Once those minimums are met, release it, then iterate based on feedback. Timber 2. Timebox your refinement. Allocate a fixed block, say 2 hours, to review or refine a project. When time's up, publish whatever you have. Time pressure forces action over endless adjustments. 3. Embrace iterative improvement. Frame every launch as version 1.0. Your ecosystem's learning loops will surface opportunities to enhance content, design, or user experience over time. Release early, then refine. Breaking analysis paralysis. Access to information is limitless, but actionable insight often gets buried under a mountain of research. Combat analysis paralysis. 1. Set information limits. And decide in advance. You'll read 3 articles or watch 2 tutorial videos. Then pick one strategy and implement it. Use a timer if needed. 2. Adopt the 20-80 rule. Identify the 20% of information that delivers 80% of the value. For example, a single well-written course outline is more valuable than reading 10 competing outlines in full. 3. Prototype rapidly. Build a lean, good enough proto version An email opt-in page, a simple landing page, or an outline for a podcast episode. Share it with real people. Gather feedback and iterate. Real-world testing beats infinite theory, preventing scarcity relapses. Stressful events, a market slump, a family emergency, or an unexpected expense can trigger old scarcity scripts. To prevent falling back, Munch 1. Pre-commit to systems. O. Ensure your investment automations and time leverage routines operate on autopilot. If your ecosystem runs without conscious input, you're less likely to override it under stress. 2. Emergency Abundance Kit. O. Prepare a small abundance action folder. A list of quick win tasks. Update a rental listing. Pitch a mini freelance gig. Audit your spending ratios. You can tackle immediately when anxiety spikes. Having a plan reduces scrambling. 3. SCARF technique for emotional regulation. O. Developed in neuroscience. SCARF stands for status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, fairness, key domains your brain reacts to under threat. When scarcity hits, apply countermeasures. Status. Remind yourself of recent wins from your success log. Certainty. Review your ecosystem's processes. See that automations and buffers are in place. Autonomy. Reclaim agency by choosing your next small action. Relatedness. Connect with a trusted peer or mentor. Fairness. Reflect that everyone faces setbacks. This is part of the growth journey. Embedding resilience through rituals. Resilience isn't a trait, but a habit. Reinforce it through daily and weekly practices. Setbacks meditation, 5 minutes, twice weekly. Visualize a recent challenge and mentally rehearse overcoming it. List strategies, resources, and helplines you could call on. This mental run-through prepares you to remain calm under real pressure. Quarterly stress tests. Pretend a key ecosystem component fails. Investment automation breaks. Your VE is unavailable. Or your primary asset dips 10%. Walk through your response plan, adjusting details so you're never caught off guard. Gratitude for adversity. At the end of each month, journal one way a setback improved your process or taught you something new. Reframing adversity as growth cements your abundance identity. Vivid, a barrier-breaking example. Alex had built a thriving freelance consultancy, but froze whenever a prospective project seemed too big. Fear whispered, "What if you can't deliver?" He launched a fear-setting exercise and defined his worst case as lose prep time and feel embarrassed. Mitigations included offering a pilot phase and clear scope. He reframed failure as data and pitched the project anyway, landing the gig, learning new skills, and doubling his rates. Alex's ecosystem absorbed the small failure of scope tweaks and powered growth instead of panic. Accountability for mental barriers. Your ecosystem's accountability network, Section 10, isn't just for strategic check-ins. It's a safe zone to expose mental hurdles. Share your fear-setting worksheets, recount failure debriefs, and discuss identity slips. Externalizing barriers transforms them from shame-inducing secrets to solvable puzzles. Your peers' perspectives can illuminate blind spots and accelerate breakthroughs. From barrier to breakthrough. By mastering these mindset strategies, naming fear, reframing failure, conquering imposter syndrome, taming perfectionism, halting analysis paralysis, and preventing scarcity relapses, you fuse resilience into your ecosystem. Mental barriers dissolve as you practice these techniques, and each conquered fear unlocks new levels of growth. No longer will resistance dictate your trajectory. Instead, you'll ride the wave of compounding progress, ready to convert every challenge into a stepping stone. With these mental firewall tools in place, your ecosystem stands fortified. In the next and final sections, you'll consolidate everything into your ultimate money operating system blueprint and wind down with a practice invitation to ensure lifelong mastery. For now, pick one barrier you've faced recently. Apply the relevant strategy, fear setting, failure debrief, or imposter evidence review, and note the shift. Each small victory strengthens your mental immunity and propels you deeper into wealth builder territory. You've journeyed from mindset to identity, from habits to ecosystem, and from barring barriers to building resilience. And now it's time to integrate every element into a single, living framework. Your money operating system. This is the blueprint that transforms scattered strategies into an orchestrated machine where beliefs, rituals, assets, and people all synchronize to accelerate your wealth journey. In this section, you'll assemble the final components, create clear workflows, and ensure your system adapts as you grow, giving you both the power to scale and the flexibility to evolve. The anatomy of your money operating system. Think of your operating system as having 6 interdependent modules, each essential, each reinforcing the others. 1. Mindset kernel of core beliefs, your reframed money lens. Section 2. Abundance mindset, be fair, and rich thinker identity statements. And wait, barrier handlers, fear setting, failure debriefs, imposter syndrome logs. 11. 2. Habit scheduler o daily protocols, morning wealth ritual, micro-learning, deep work blocks, evening reflection, Nagra 9. Weekly routines, Sunday reviews, peer accountability, automations audit, the main line, monthly reviews, portfolio deep dives, expense ratio checks, skill development plans, Gather 9, quarterly and annual retreats, vision refresh, environment and ecosystem audits, financial blueprint updates, Nick Minger 9 and 10, the beginning 3, asset engine, portfolio mix, real estate, dividend funds, digital products, businesses, cash buffer 3 and 10, acquisition processes, define steps for researching, validating, funding, and launching each asset type, profit reinvestment workflow, automated reinvestment of dividends, royalties, and surplus cash to maintain compounding growth. Meeting 4, time leverage hub, outsourcing and automation. Map, task inventory with delegation targets and automation scripts. 6, time worth calculator, up-to-date hourly value guiding every outsourcing decision. Time buyback scheduler, monthly budget item for paid services or subscriptions that reclaim hours. Inner 5, environment firewall, circle curation list, 5 growth influencers, 5 drainers, with interaction guidelines, Nagimantan 7, content feed guide, approved podcasts, newsletters, social media accounts, blocked sources, workspace blueprint, physical cues, focus rituals, digital boundaries, app blockers, notification rules. 6, accountability nexus, peer network directory, mentors, mastermind members, growth buddies with contact cadence. Reporting framework, standardized templates for daily win journals, weekly progress updates, quarterly performance summaries. Feedback loops, scheduled ecosystem swap sessions, barrier check-ins, celebration rituals, building your OS dashboard. Your blueprint needs a command center, a dashboard that gives you real-time clarity and reminds you to act. Choose a platform, Google Sheets, Notion, or your favorite productivity app, and configure these core sections. Mindset status, a quick checklist of morning affirmations completed, barrier handling exercises performed, and daily lens audit score, a 1/5. Habit streaks, visual trackers for daily, weekly, and monthly rituals. Deep work blocks, micro-learning sessions, review meetings. Asset performance, live data or manual inputs for passive income. The AMIS at portfolio value, ROI percentages, and next investment due dates. Time buyback metrics, hours saved this week via outsourcing or automation. Next services to engage and buffer hours remaining. Environmental health, a log of positive versus negative interactions, content audits, and workspace tweaks. Accountability calendar, upcoming check-ins, peer calls, report submissions, and feedback deadlines. Set your dashboard as your browser homepage or pinned tab. Glance at it each morning to orient your actions. Orchestrating the workflow with modules and dashboard in place. Define clear workflows, step-by-step processes ensuring nothing falls through the cracks. Here's an example of a weekly wealth workflow. Hanator 1, Sunday morning, weekly review. Review mindset status and identify any barrier triggers from last week. Update habit streaks, celebrate wins, and plan catch-up rituals for missed actions. Check asset performance, or compare passive income versus targets. Schedule reinvestments. Audit time buyback. Verify automation logs and VA task completions. Adjust next month's outsourcing budget. Refresh environmental health. Unfollow any new low-value accounts and schedule one growth interaction. Confirm accountability nexus. Send update reports to peers and set next call agenda. Number 2. Daily morning. Perform morning wealth ritual. Open dashboard. Scan each module's top priority alerts. Execute today's top wealth building action from Habit Scheduler. 3. Midday check-in. Briefly review progress on deep work blocks. Log any emerging barrier signals and apply on the spot fear setting or imposter review. Ping growth buddy with accountability update. 4. Evening wrap-up. Complete daily win journal and lesson capture. Update habit streaks. Close out pending delegation requests on Time Leverage Hub. Tweak dashboard if any workflow needed adjustment. Embedding automation and technology leverage tech to streamline your OS. Zapier or IFTTT automations. Connect triggers, like new dividend payments arriving, to notifications and dashboard updates. Calendar integrations. Automatically block habit rituals and review sessions as recurring events. Financial APIs. If you're comfortable, link investment accounts to your spreadsheet for real-time asset updates. Task management tools. Use Asana, Trello, or Monday as decom boards for delegation pipelines. Track VA tasks, automation scripts, and environment tweaks. Habit apps. Employ tools like Habitica or Streaks to gamify your habit rituals. Scaling and evolving your OS. Your operating system isn't static. It grows as you do. Schedule ecosystem evolution days twice a year, akin to software upgrades, where you 101. Review core components. Are your identity statements still reflective of your highest vision? Have you outgrown any asset classes? Mekwa 2. Upgrade tools. Evaluate whether a new automation platform, AI assistant, or financial app could boost efficiency. Number 3. Onboard new influences. Seek out higher-level mentors. Join an advanced mastermind or attend a specialized summit. Number 4. Retire obsolete habits. Drop any routine that no longer serves your evolving goals. Streamlining to essentials. 5. Set next-level targets. Adjust your vision statement and dashboard metrics to stretch beyond current milestones. Fail-safe mechanisms. To protect your ecosystem from derailment, build in fail-safes, cash buffer. Threshold. Maintain a minimum emergency fund equal to 3 months of essential expenses. Set an alert when the balance dips below that level. Automated alerts. Configure notifications for passive income dips above a predetermined tolerance. Say, a 5% drop in dividend flows, so you can investigate promptly. Ecosystem Health Score. On the dashboard, calculate an aggregate score from each module's health, line under 1 to 5. If overall health falls below 3 out of 5, trigger a dedicated evolution day. Vivid OS in action. Imagine you wake to an alert. Passive income is 8% below target for the month. Instead of panic, you open your dashboard. See the gap aligns with a seasonal slowdown in digital course sales, and note your pre-programmed mitigation plan. Schedule a promotional webinar this week. Your identity remains unwavering. I am a strategic wealth builder, and your ecosystem springs to life. You assign promotional tasks to your VA, block time for the webinar in your calendar, and tweak your email automation to include a fresh testimonial. By evening, the plan is in motion and your momentum intact. Common OS pitfalls and quick fixes. Overcomplexity. Too many modules or metrics can collapse under their own weight. If onboarding a new element stalls you, simplify. Reduce to the core 5 metrics that drive decisions. Neglected maintenance. Habits dry up without regular audits. Schedule maintenance Mondays for quick pulse checks. Stagnant feedback loops. If barrier signals go unaddressed, mental blocks re-establish themselves. Ensure automated reminders prompt you to apply fear setting or failure debriefs within 24 hours of any missed target. The power of a unified system. When you activate this operating system, you stop juggling disparate and-dos and start orchestrating a symphony of aligned actions. Your mindset filters every choice. Your habits enact your identity. Your assets compound wealth. Your time buyback frees capacity. Your environment sustains growth. And your accountability network keeps you honest. Rather than reacting to life's demands, you design your days with intention, and your blueprint adjusts seamlessly as you scale. From blueprint to legacy, this isn't just about short-term gains. It's about building a legacy operating system that serves you and those you care about for years, even generations. Your OS can be inherited, adapted, and re-implemented by partners, children, or mentees, propagating wealth-building principles far beyond your own lifespan. Now that your money operating system blueprint is complete, you're ready for one final phase, a gentle wind down that reinforces every lesson, invites ongoing practice, and anchors your transformation in daily life. Take a moment now to close your eyes and simply breathe. You've traveled a long way together, rewiring your beliefs, building machines that earn, mastering the dance of scarcity and abundance, investing with intention, reclaiming your time, fine-tuning your surroundings, solidifying your identity, weaving habits into a living system, and finally erecting a blueprint that ties every element into a single, harmonized machine. None of this happened by accident, and none of it rests on chance alone. It rests on practice, on consistency, and on your willingness to keep returning to these principles each day. Remember, thinking like the wealthy is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about uncovering and embodying the best version of yourself, one who approaches money with authenticity, presence, and kindness. You are not a cold calculator or a heartless accumulator. You are a builder of possibilities, using resources to create freedom, to uplift others, and to craft a life that aligns with your deepest values. As you step away from this guide, know that the real transformation unfolds in the small moments, choosing to ask, how can I afford this? And instead of, why can't I? Automating that savings transfer before the rest of your paycheck moves. Delegating a chore so you could spend 20 more minutes with someone you love. Sharing your hard-won insights with a friend who still struggles. Each of those choices reinforces your new operating system, cementing new neural pathways until they become as natural as breathing. So, wherever you find yourself tomorrow, revisit your dashboard. recite your rich thinker declarations, and take at least one enthusiastic step, no matter how small, toward your vision. When doubt creeps in, lean on your accountability network and your well-worn fear-setting script. When success arrives, celebrate with gratitude and generosity. Wealth, at its heart, is a skill set honed through daily practice, patience, and purposeful action. May this practice accompany you, inspire you, and remind you that your journey toward financial freedom is not a destination, but a continuous, joyful unfolding